Marks the peak of celebration for the Juneteenth holiday, a huge event right here in Omaha.
First Alert 6's Aaron Hartley shares how one band is sharing a powerful message through music.
In the heart of Omaha's Black community, Joyfest is a celebration of culture and heritage. Part of that celebration includes the musical performances. Renzelis Brown is a part of the Omaha-based music collective Rainbow, who is performing at Saturday's festival. Now, using their influences in classical, jazz, indie rock, gospel, they showcase their music through Black American music traditions, and their music is to uplift Black, Indigenous, queer, disabled voices in their music. And during Pride Month, Juneteenth, and Black Music Month, that couldn't be more important for Brown.
If it wasn't for the Black, queer, plus size, differently abled, and formerly incarcerated peoples that created this music that we know as Black American music, and that influence of Black Americans and Black queer people in this country especially have influenced genres like blues, jazz, rock and roll, pop, we wouldn't be a thing.
Well, the 5th annual Juneteenth Joyfest kicks off at 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon at the Union for Contemporary Art. There will be live music, poetry, visual art, food, tons to do. Tickets go on sale. They're already on sale. You can find that link up on our website. In the studio, Aaron Hartley, First Alert 6.